Hey friends, it's another Thursday night and here I am. If you can't tell, I'm sick. I have a cold. It's been a fun few days. I haven't really moved from the sofa much. Fun times, fun times. But I'm on here to chat with you guys about making time to write. So I'm gonna get started. And don't mind the fact that my voice sounds a little wonky. It's all good. So thank you for joining me again for today's episode. I'm going to be talking about making time for your writing and also for yourself, right? Because writing is an opportunity when we get to return to just being ourselves. That's the way that I see it. So when you make time for writing, you are also making time for yourself. Hey Mary, thanks for tuning in live. Love seeing you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down below and I'll take a look. So here we go. I've got about 6-7 ways. I think it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 ways to help you guys make time for writing and yourself. The first one is mindset, and you may want to click this off the minute you hear that word, but hear me out. Mindset really is one of the first steps that you need because get all wishy-washy, it's not going to happen, right? How many times do we say to ourselves, oh, I have a story, I think I want to do it, or I've always wanted to write a book, or I know I should journal every day, but, right, like, you need to revisit your mindset, and instead of the ifs, the whens, some days, you need to start with your mindset and say, you know what, this is something that I really want to do. And it may be hard, but I know that I can do it. Because I've done a lot of other things in my life that are hard, and this is something for me. And it's important to me. And I need to have a quiet space where I can just turn off the world and go back to being me. And that's okay. And if you come at it from that mindset, it's going to move to the front of your mind rather than sitting in the back of your mind, if you know what I mean. Okay? So mindset's definitely very important. I'm going to come back to that again a little bit later on, but that's the first one. So here's the next one that's like your next like to do. And it's looking at your schedule hour by hour, literally hour by hour. And what you can do is all those planners that you see where it's like for a day and you've got all the hours in there, look at each hour and start blocking off the times that are inflexible, right? So morning routines, meal times, bedtimes with the kids, going to and from work, those are inflexible times, right? Once you black those out, then you can start to look at what the gaps are in your schedule. And the reason why this is so important is because how many times, mindset, do we say, I don't have time to write? But a lot of times, these gaps in our schedule, you're actually filling up with scrolling on your phone, getting pulled into social media. Hi, I'm social media. But anyway, getting pulled into social media. You also tend to fill up a lot of those holes with sand, which if you know the rock, pebbles, sand theory, it's when we spend all our time focusing on like, all the little tasks, like every single load of laundry, the dishes, picking up all the stuff around the house. I'm not saying that these things don't have to get done. It's just that they're always there. And so if you're focusing and filling all of those holes in your schedule with just all that sand, you're not really leaving time for anything else. So if you look at your schedule hour by hour, you block out the inflexible time, then you find the holes in your schedule. Then what you want to do, you want to designate at least one of those holes, hopefully like even just 10 minutes. If you just start with 10 minutes, you say, this is my time for writing, then you've got that, like, I'm not going to get sucked into social media. This is my writing time. And the next thing you want to do is create backup plans. Like, because hopefully you're going to find more than just one gap in your schedule. So you're going to look for another gap or two, and those are going to be designated as backups. But part of mindset is that you can't say, oh, well, I didn't get this first one, so I've got my backup one or two, and I'll just do it then. If you keep that mindset, it's never going to happen. But if it's like, no, I know that the first gap in the schedule is when I'm going to write, I'm going to sit down and do it, but then an emergency pops up, please, by all means, go take care of your child who, has been jumping in bed and then off and hurt himself. Yes, go take care of that. But if an emergency doesn't pop up, then you'd be like, this is designated time. This is when I'm going to do it. Okay. So the backup plans are really backups for your emergencies, not, I'll just get to it. Okay. All right. The next thing you want is coming back to prioritizing. All of this together. It really is. But you have to look at it as prioritizing your writing throughout your day. Because, like I said, the laundry is always going to be there. The dishes are always going to be there. The clutter of toys is always going to be there, right? And I'm not saying ignore those things, but you need to change your mindset of your priorities, because instead of saying, I can't write until I finish the dishes, you need to say to yourself, I'm not allowed to do that pile of dishes until I sit down and write for 10 minutes. Do you see what that mind swap does? Right? Think about that. Like, how many times we're like, oh, I can do something for myself and do 20 million other things around the house for my kids, for my house, right? And then our stuff just falls down to the bottom of the barrel. Okay? Your dishes are not an emergency. Your house is not going to explode because they sat there for 10, 20 minutes. Okay? I believe in you guys. You can do this. So, Jessica, amen. Right? So, prioritizing is the next thing that you need to remember. Hey, this is my time. This is when I am to write. And that pile of dishes, and it's okay. The writing comes first. Next thing for making right is accessibility. Accessibility. And it's because we're around all over the place. Sometimes we don't actually get a break ourselves until we're in the bathroom, right? Hey, I finally got by myself. Such a win. So, keep your writing accessible. I love writing in a journal. I've got a stack of journals that you guys can't see. But only when I have a quiet moment had access to the journal, writing would be a lot less. So I actually, especially for fiction and articles on creative fiction pieces, I keep Google Docs because, and then have them on the top. I start off with this if I want to start my journals. I can transcribe and expand them on my Google Doc. And bathroom, have a quiet moment myself, I can my phone and go to Google my phone and be like, let me get an extra idea to write another sentences. So it's always when you're out and about, you're at the playground, and your kids are around and they're having some time, you can open your phone, write down a couple of things. So you want to just make sure that your writing is accessible. Have a notepad in my kitchen to write it down that way too. Accessibility is an important part. The last puzzle is advocacy. It is. No sounds easier said than done, but if you practice and you stick with boundaries, really can happen, because I've happened over the last year myself, and it's learning to say to your family members, hey, you, you want to tell me 20 million, and I'm excited about your 20 things, but right now, my brain's tired, and I need rest for a little. I'm going to write for 10-ish minutes, and I'm done with it, and my brain rested. Can't wait to 20 million. I know it's been done. Not that I'm putting it away. Remember, basically, when I was doing this a year, my then child come up to me, and he would say a million things. If it wasn't an emergency, stop with your right for the emergency. It's just a thing that is really to hear about in a few minutes. He needs a nap. Mama's tired. And a lot of try. I'd still give him a hug. Oh, I can't wait to tell him. Right? I'm doing empathy. I'm not thinking about it. I'm going and get my right time, which is in my head. That is what I'm not doing for him. Okay. So I'd be a puzzle. Be able to speak and say, hey, family, your worries have always been me and mine now. Okay? Saying for you to lower your feet down and yours up. I'm saying that you have your feet here. Saying bring yours up to equal. Okay? It's equal. So, recap, we talked 7 ways to make time writing and self this mindset. At your schedule hour, scheduling time, reading balance, prioritizing your writing, make sure that you have access to writing and self. Okay. You guys, I really hope it's helpful. Give these a try. I need a bit over to try to all your start with. Just want more back in. Send me or I will with you my new 12 rating. Watching. She's that I'm work with her. Yeah, a new flash rate, and the point of is make writing themselves because on this so helpful to be a parent myself. So time for us to get to return ourselves. We then refill us to be there and show the way that we show up. Because I really for the first years started really my writing. Okay, and this program is one of with me journal custom plan can program so much really about it detail like I meant love your that we're gonna speak yeah really excited for a writer help you guys voices and believe things and you can do this to your dream. You haven't really free 5-step writing link included video. I don't know the delivery is cold. Also started talk over to provide really writing. Any questions? Put them in. Is doing feel. I don't know. I'm gonna plug one more. You. Tuesday, and then sick. So that walk hill see is all I can see until is pushed 40 in whole hill of the then it really haven't got for the fun. That was fun. Great. Bye bye.